Alright, just super quick before today's video begins, I'm trying to hit 50 subs by the end of the month, so if you want to help me chip away at that, be sure to drop a sub down below. It takes like 2 seconds. And if we can hit 20 likes on this video, which again is a super easy goal to hit, I just want to hit it, I will do a second round of this mock draft. So that is all. And let's get into the video. This past NFL offseason was the craziest one in recent memory. Seeing superstar players like Russell Wilson, Davante Adams, Teron Armstead, Khalil Mack, and many others changing teams, and in a lot of cases, changing conferences. And I feel like part of the reason why teams were going so crazy in free agency is because this NFL draft is just not as good as it has been in recent years. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still superstar players or potential superstar players in this class, like Evan Neal, Malik Willis. Pretty much all the players at the top of the board are potential superstars. It's just a lot of them are very raw. But today I'm going to be doing my first mock draft on the channel. So without further ado, be sure to comment who you want your team to take this year in the first round, and let's get into the mock draft. So with this first pick, this is a pretty obvious one, Aiden Hutchinson. Had a great year last year. I'm not the biggest Aiden Hutchinson fan, but he is probably the best player in the class right now. He doesn't have the most upside in the world because he lacks speed, he lacks athleticism, but he does have a lot of power and strength. So he's kind of like a safe pick, which I think the Jaguars really need. They just need a guaranteed solid player. I think he's actually a pretty comparable player to Jadeveon Clowney or someone like that. Just because you kind of know what you're getting. They're safe. They're not going to just blow you away, but they're kind of they're strong, they're solid run defenders, but they kind of lack that speed and bend and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think this pick makes a lot of sense. This is pretty much a lock at this point. They could go someone like Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu, but they just re-signed Cam Robinson, or I think they tagged him. I can't remember exactly. So I think the obvious pick is Aiden Hutchinson, and pairing him with Josh Allen is probably going to be pretty nice, so I really do like this pick. At number 2, this is where it's going to get spicy. At number 2, we have the Detroit Lions. Now, Dan Campbell actually did make this team look a little better than they did last year. However, this team has a ton of needs. And honestly, their receivers are looking kind of shaky. I'm half tempted to take Garrett Wilson here, but this is a little early. This may be controversial, but I'm going to take Kayvon Thibodeau. For some reason in the past month, he's just dropped down people's boards just because of character concerns, which aren't even proven to be true. I really don't get that at all. In my opinion, he is still the best pass rusher in the class, better than Hutchinson. Hutchinson is just a better day one player, but he doesn't have as much upside as Thibodeau does. So that's why I'm going to be taking Thibodeau with the number 2 overall pick to the Detroit Lions, adding him to the now trio of him, Charles Harris, and why am I blanking on his name? He's a really good player. Romeo Okwara. Okay, I finally remembered it. I'm a fucking idiot. So honestly, that's a pretty good underrated pass rush trio. Obviously, Charles Harris had a breakout year last year, and Romeo Okwara has been pretty good for a few years, just health has been a problem. So now that is a pretty good pass rush group. Here with the number 3 pick, I kind of feel like doing something weird. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear that. It is hailing outside right now in April. I want to die. I think I'm just going to go with the best player available here, Evan Neal. In my opinion, the best player in the class. Just an absolute monster at Alabama. One of the best linemen in recent memory. The true, blue chip player in this class. I would say Thibodeau might be that, Derek Stingley might be that, but Evan Neal is the one who has truly proven it and doesn't really have any doubts. So I guess they would be moving him over to right tackle where he used to start. Just this past year he played left tackle, obviously. So I think that really shores up that offensive line, at least the tackles. The interior is still a little shaky. I think you could go Malik Willis here, but I mean, I really feel like that wouldn't be putting him in a position to succeed, so I don't want to take that. Also, I feel like I should have said this, but this is kind of what I would do, and what I think is going to happen. It's kind of a mix. It's not fully what I think is going to happen, just kind of what I think should happen. So yeah, just thought I would say that. But here with the number 4 overall pick, we have the New York Jets. And I am going to take Travon Walker. He is a pretty raw player, but he is an athletic freak. I can't remember exactly what his numbers were at the combine, but they were crazy. I think the main one you need to know is he is 6'5", 275, and he ran a 4.51. This is a very high upside player. The problem is he is not polished at all. I would almost compare him to like Gregory Rousseau last year, where they're just like freaks, but they just don't really know what they're doing half the time. He's just a really weird player that has risen up boards lately, really high upside. You obviously do have a few good pass rushers there in New York already, but adding him wouldn't hurt at all. Carl Lawson coming back would be a big thing for this defense, and I think being in Robert Saleh's defense would help Trayvon Walker develop a lot. So I like this, and this would be a great pick for the Jets in my opinion. With the Giants pick, we're going to go Ike Ekwonu. I'm not even going to like talk much about that. It's just pretty obvious, staring him right in the face. You have like Nate Solder, and I guess Andrew Thomas is pretty good. I kind of like their backup right tackle. I can't remember his name right now for some reason, but he's decent. But you need like an actual good player there. And I think Ike Ekwonu will bring that. Not much to say about that one. And we're going to actually have back-to-back tackles, I think. Or will we? No, we're going to. This is what I would do. We're going to take Charles Cross. Again, kind of same deal. With Matt Rule on the hot seat, you don't want to take a QB because that'll just screw the quarterback over, and he's not going to develop with a change in head coaches, because if they take a QB, that is not going to work out. With their horrendous offensive line, their terrible play calling, just everything about that is a mess. Matt Rule is a terrible head coach. I'm sorry. You already have an upside quarterback on the team in Sam Darnold. Now, I get he hasn't shown literally anything in the NFL, but you don't want to take someone like Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett or someone right here because they will bust. There is no question. Pause. So yeah, Charles Cross, sure up that O-line at least a tiny bit. They kind of fixed the interior, I guess. They got Austin Corbett, who was probably just good because he played for the Rams, but we'll have to see. I don't know. That might be a bad signing, but I'm not sure. So yeah, the pick of Charles Cross here, I would love if they did that if he is still there. I think he would be. He definitely would be. So I like that pick. That's a great one. All right, and with this pick for the Giants, I'm actually a little conflicted. I'm actually between a few players here. Like, quite a few. Malik Willis, Sauce Gardner, Kyle Hamilton, and Jermaine Johnson, and Derek Stingley. I don't know which one to take here. Alright, I don't love this pick, but I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton here. I'm not very high on Kyle Hamilton, and it seems like that's kind of the consensus recently. He's just not that fast. There was one play against, like, I don't even remember who, where he ran, like, the entire length of the field. Not the entire length, but the entire width of the field to get an interception, I think it was. I think that's what he did. And it basically made all the NFL scouts horny. But if you really watch the play, he started really early on that, which just shows great awareness, which is the player he is. So I think Kyle Hamilton will work out in the league, but he will be a slow player. I see him mostly being like a box safety or something like that, which the Giants do need. They have Xavier McKinney and I think Julian Love right now, which I kind of like Julian Love, but I feel like you need an upgrade over that. The more I talk about this pick, the more I regret making it, but I'm not a big Jermaine Johnson fan. I don't think Malik Willis would work out here. I don't know. I'm going to double down on this pick. I think they need a true, like, really smart player on that defense. I like it. It's fine. I'm sure Giants fans would actually like this. Maybe not this high, actually, but I don't know, dude. Some people viewed him as, like, the best player in the class. I think he's maybe, like, the... Alright, I'm going to try and pick up the pace here. With the 8th pick, how weird do I want to get? We have the Atlanta Falcons. I'm just going to go Jermaine Johnson and not... no, I don't know if I want to go Jermaine Johnson. We are going to go Garrett Wilson. They have a desperate need at wide receiver. I think their number one receiver is like Auden Tate or something. Actually, let me check that real quick. Okay, I was kidding. Their number one receiver is Auden Tate. I like Auden Tate more than most people do. He's just a big jump ball type of receiver. He's athletic, or not athletic. He's not athletic. He's pretty slow, but he can go up and get it actually pretty well. So I don't... This receiving core is disgusting. This is an amazing pick. They need a receiver. Garrett Wilson is the right pick here. I was thinking about Malik Willis because their quarterback is Marcus Mariota. I was thinking about Jermaine Johnson because their number one pass rusher is like, I don't even know who. Garrett Wilson is a desperate need for the Falcons. They better take him, or at least a receiver. All right, here are the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to do something really stupid this year, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm going to do what they should do, and I'm going to take Sauce Gardner. Just a really good corner. I don't know what to really say about him. I haven't really watched him that much. I just have heard he is very good. That's what I've heard. And I've heard comparisons to Richard Sherman, even though they play opposite styles of coverage. I don't know. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but kind of. The Seahawks, they need something. They need something good. That team is disgusting. All right, and here we have the Jets back on the clock. I think I'm actually going to do something weird here too. I'm going to take Daxton Hill. Am I going to take Daxton Hill? I don't know. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take Daxton Hill. Extremely versatile player. He can play free safety, strong safety. He can even play like outside corner. I think you would want him as like a free safety though, just because that's like the most valuable and his best position. I guess outside corner is really valuable, but you don't really have a big need there. And I would say free safety is probably his best position. I don't know. I just think he's an amazing player, really underrated player. This is a really controversial pick, and I realize that, but I think he is great. Safety is not the most valuable position, but you have a pretty bad need there. You have, like, Ashton Davis as your starting free safety. I don't like that, so we're taking Daxton Hill, and you're going to be happy with it. All right, the Washington Commanders. Is it the football team logo? This website blows. I don't know what this site is. It was trying to make me pay to make trades and shit. Fuck you. I really don't know what to do here. I feel ill-prepared. I feel like this is just such a weird draft. I feel like there should be a quarterback off the board yet, but I just don't like any of the quarterbacks in this year's draft. They're taking their chance on Carson Wentz, and I respect that. I don't like it, but I respect it. No, I'm actually higher on Wentz than most people, but still, it's kind of weird. I'm going to give him Drake London. I'm not a big Drake London fan, but that's just kind of what I think will happen. Plus, you know, USC, red and yellow, Washington, red and yellow. Kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't love him as a player. He's just kind of... He'll have to go to a well-coached team. I think if he went to like a New England or something, he would really work out. But then again, they failed with N'Keal Harry, who's a somewhat comparable player, so I just don't really know. You kind of have to use him the right way. I don't feel like explaining all that, but you do, okay? Here with the Vikings pick, we're going to go Derek Stingley. I don't know why I still have him on the board. They have a pretty big need at outside corner. I mean, like, their number one is it Patrick Peterson? Patrick Peterson? I can't speak right now. Yeah, it is. I didn't know they got Chandon Sullivan. That's interesting. So yeah, they have a pretty big need at corner, clearly. I don't know if Derek Stingley will fall this far. I just didn't see a great fit for him. I guess Washington, but I don't know. A lot of these teams had bigger needs than corner. I feel like I could have given him to the Giants at 7 with the James Bradbury rumors, but I don't know. And here with the Texans pick, I'm going to give him Jermaine Johnson. I'm not very high on Jermaine Johnson, like I said, but pairing him with Jonathan Grenard wouldn't be terrible. You lost Jacob Martin, who I honestly thought was a pretty underrated player, and you really have nothing at number 2 pass rusher, so I think adding Jermaine Johnson would be a really good pickup. I was thinking about Malik Willis again, but it's just, I really don't see that happening. I don't know. I guess you could have, but if you did, he would probably bust. I don't know. With this pick, I'm going to give the Ravens... Looking at the Ravens team, they really don't have many needs. I might just go with a luxury pick here. No, I'm going to give them Zion Johnson. The interior O-line is looking pretty weak, and I think Zion Johnson is one of the best players in this entire class. Just an absolute animal, and he will definitely help make that line at least good. Hopefully they don't have like a million injuries this year like they did last year. Here for the Eagles, I really want to take a QB, but I also don't. I'm going to give them Jameson Williams. Their receiving core is still gross. I mean, their number 2 is Jalen Reagor. They still have players like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or Arthega-Whiteside or however you say it. Quez Watkins is fast. That's about it. Jameson Williams, I think, is the best receiver in the class. Call me crazy there, but I think he's better than Garrett Wilson. I think he tore his ACL or Achilles. Obviously fell down the draft board, but I just think he is amazing. He is very good. With this pick, I am going to go Malik Willis. You have Jameis Winston. I almost said Jameson Williams. You have Jameis Winston on the team. I think he is okay. He's had like 7 years to prove that he's worth the number 1 pick, and he hasn't. I don't know why people still expect him to. He's been given a lot of opportunity, and he still hasn't shown that much. So I think it's time to just take the QB of the future. You just got your new head coach after Sean Payton retired. Malik Willis is a very high upside player, so I think he's the best pick here. I'm not sure, but I think so. All right, with this pick, I'm going to give the Chargers Jordan Davis. Athletic freak. We all know that, though. We all heard his, like, combine, everything. He ran, like, a 4.78 at, like, 330, 340 pounds, so he's just a monster. You're adding him to a group that already has Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Sebastian Joseph Day, who I think is an underrated player. I was thinking about going with a tackle here, but I think you can take one later, honestly. So yeah, I think Jordan Davis would be a huge addition to that team, and that's definitely one of the best-looking teams in the entire NFL. Oh, ow. All right, with this pick, I think I'm going to go Andrew Booth. You have a need at corner. I think your starting right corner is Zach McPherson. I don't like that. You have Darius Slay, who was a monster last year. You have what's his name? I can't remember. Avonte Maddox. I think Steven Nelson is still a free agent, so I guess they might be able to bring him back, but for now they don't have him, and I think Andrew Booth would be a great pickup. I was thinking about going either George Karlaftis or Devin Lloyd, but I don't like taking linebackers round 1 because recently they don't work out. The last one to work out was like Roquan Smith, but other than that, there have been a lot, and they just haven't really worked out. But here with this next pick, I think I'm going to give the Saints Jahan Dotson. You really need a receiver. Your only good receiver on the team is Michael Thomas. I do actually like Deontay Hardy? Is that his name? Wait, what? Deontay Hart, did he change his name? Why? What's with Saints players and changing their names? On Christmas 2021. Oh, to honor his stepfather. Okay, that makes sense. It's not like CD Deuce or some weird shit. Okay, that makes sense. That's fine. That's wholesome. Whatever. I won't clown him for that. That's fine. But I do actually like him as a player, but I think you need to add something else there. I like Jahan Dotson. I think he's a little overrated. I think I like Chris Olave more, but Jahan Dotson is good. I think Penn State receivers typically do really well in the league. I don't think that really has anything to do with this. Like, that's not really relevant, but it's just a thing, I guess. So yeah, Jahan Dotson, I like the pick. You need a receiver, so you have one now. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, we are going to give them Kenny Pickett. Staying in Pittsburgh, went to Pitt, obviously. Going to Pitt. He has small hands. That's my only concern about him. Other than that, he looks fine. I don't know. Obviously, yesterday, as of when I am recording this, Dwayne Haskins unfortunately passed away, and I was actually thinking he would be their starter this year. I know they have Trubisky, but I figured he was going to lose that job, and I actually thought, like, Haskins was their high upside player on the team, so I didn't even really know if they needed to take a quarterback because you have your starter now who has upside and you have your backup who is still young and has upside, but obviously, as messed up as it is, now they need an upside younger player, so Kenny Pickett is the pick. That's a bad time to make a joke, but it's an easy joke. It's a stupid joke. With this next pick, the Patriots, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm having to look at their depth chart for every pick because it's been such a crazy offseason. I don't even remember what has happened. All right, yeah, that defense is looking kind of sussy. I kind of want to take a new player there. I would take Devin Lloyd, but he literally doesn't fit their defense at all. God, this is such a weird pick. I'm going to take... no, I don't know. You have Christian Barmore. I want to take Devontae Wyatt, but you already have a younger interior player. I don't know, dude. I'm going to give him Trent McDuffie. You need a corner. He's not a perfect fit, but I'm sure they can make it work. You have, like, Jalen Mills as your right corner. That is disgusting. You have Malcolm Butler as your number 1. He retired and came back. I don't know if he's going to be good. You lost J.C. Jackson. You need a corner. Trent McDuffie, you're going to have to make it work because you need a corner. The Packers, we know they don't like taking receivers, so I'm not going to give them one. Sorry, Packers fans. You don't do it, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give him George Karlaftis, I think. No, I don't know. I would feel weird doing that because you already have a few good pass rushers. But I feel like George Karlaftis should be gone by now. I am going to give him Trevor Penning. You need a tackle. You just need, like, most O-line positions. They're not good at drafting. I want this to be realistic. If it weren't the Packers, I would have taken Chris Olave there. But it's the Packers, so I'm not going to draft him a receiver. I might with, like, the 28th pick, but not yet. So yeah, Trevor Penning, not my favorite player, but he's okay. I don't know. You need a lineman. Have him. For the Cardinals, we are going to take George Karlaftis. You just lost Chandler Jones. That pass rush is looking not great. I think your number one player is like Devon Kennard right now. Or no, I forgot about Marcus Golden, but Devon Kennard is a starter. He's fine, but I would rather have him as a third or fourth. So yeah, George Karlaftis, I think kind of underrated, honestly. I could have also gone Devontae Wyatt, but you really need edge. You really, really need edge. With this next pick, I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys Kaiir Elam. I can't speak at all. You need a true cover corner there. You have Trayvon Diggs, who isn't a cover corner. He's almost like a safety playing corner. I don't know how to explain it, but he's a receiver playing corner. He's terrible in coverage, but he gets a lot of picks. So I'm going to give him a true good cover corner in Kaiir Elam. I think he's a little underrated for sure. And this is a pretty good corner class. That's one of the best groups in here. So I think with that need at corner, you definitely have to take one. And I actually like this pick quite a lot. All right, this one was actually a tough one for me. I wanted to go corner. I could go Kyler Gordon, but I don't think you need to take him in the first round. I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's a first-round player, though. I'm between two players right now, or actually three. I'm going to give him Chris Olave. I was thinking about giving him Breece Hall, but I don't want to take a running back round one. It just seems sinful, even though they do have a need at running back. Their first three receivers are good, but outside of that, I mean, I guess you have Isaiah McKenzie, but he's a slot. I don't love Jake Kumaro. Marquez Stevenson isn't that good. I think this was a good pick. I think you need a receiver more than people realize. I am really high on Gabriel Davis. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is one of the best receivers in the league. I am high on Jamison Crowder, but I feel like you just need another piece there, and I think Chris Olave is a really good player, so I think that's a good addition. I don't know. Ooh, there's someone interesting here staring me in the face. Treylon Burks. Pairing him with A.J. Brown would be unfair, like the best run-after-catch duo possible. I'm gonna give him Devontae Wyatt. They have a need at interior D-line. Devontae Wyatt was still on the board. I don't think he should have slipped this far. Obviously on that insane Georgia defense, so I think that's a little bit of the reason why he's this high up, but still a good player in my eyes. Probably going to be a day one starter, so I like the pick. Here with the Bucks, their roster is honestly loaded, so I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to give him Kenyon Green. You just lost Alex Kappa, and I think Kenyon Green is already almost as good of a player as Alex Kappa is, if that makes any sense. Like, I think you're replacing a player with an equal player with way more upside. That was really their only need I could find. I guess D linemen, but there really weren't any there. I see Tyler Linderbaum still on the board. One of the best players in the class, in my opinion, like top, 5. He's crazy. I don't know why he slipped so far, but you don't really need a center at all. So, yeah, that was a pretty obvious choice for me. I was thinking about Desmond Ridder, but I think you need to milk this window as long as you can, with Tom Brady there. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good pick. All right, I feel like the Packers front office is almost forced to take a receiver here, so I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to give him Treylon Burks. Kind of like a bit slower of a Deebo Samuel, just basically a running back playing receiver that still has pretty good hands. I feel like there isn't much to say about him. You already kind of know what Treylon Burks is. I don't know about the fit here. I don't know if they would know how to use him right. No, Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I think they would know how to use him, so I like that pick. Hopefully that works out. We'll see. With this pick, I'm going to give the Kansas City Chiefs Sky Moore, pretty just athletic receiver. A bit of a reach here. I think he's more like a second-round player, but they do have a pretty big need at receiver after losing Tyreek Hill. I don't know why I blanked on his name. You do have a few good receivers there, but no one as a true number one. They're all kind of like number 2 or 3 receivers. You need a player with number 1 upside, and I think Sky Moore actually does have that. He has a lot of upside, obviously. He's a great route runner and everything, so I really do like that pick. He's a good fit there. I think Patrick Mahomes would love to throw to him, so I think that's a pretty good pick, I hope. All right, with this pick, I'm going to go Arnold Ebiketti. I forgot the Chiefs have back-to-back picks. He would play the kind of Melvin Ingram role we saw last year. He's actually not a bad comparison. No, that's not a great comparison. But he's just a really explosive, strong player. He has a lot of upside, like true edge number 1 upside, number 1 edge upside, whatever, you know what I mean. Frank Clark is getting older and he's expensive as hell, even after they restructured his contract. So I actually really do like the pick here, because I think their other starting edge is like Mike Dana or something, so you need another edge. With this next pick, I am going to go Tyler Linderbaum. I'm not even going to second guess that. You need any O-lineman you can get. This is one of the best O-linemen in the class. One of the best players in the class. I don't know why he's fallen at all. Did he have like a bad pro day? I can't remember. There was some reason, but it was a stupid reason. One of the better linemen in the class. Probably the best interior lineman in the class, other than like, I don't know, probably the best interior lineman in the class. So you're getting, I almost said Drew Lock, you're getting Joe Burrow some protection. Your tackles are fine. You have La'el Collins and Jonah Williams, so your tackles are good. As long as La'el Collins plays, I've heard he has pretty serious injury concerns. Like there's some injury that might be like borderline career ending, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I think he is one of the better players in this class and a big need, so that's kind of an obvious one. Alright, and with this last pick, I'm going to be giving the Detroit Lions Devin Lloyd. I don't know where this brought me to. I don't care. Devin Lloyd is probably the best linebacker in this class. I do actually like the guy from Wisconsin. I can't remember his name. But I would say Devin Lloyd is probably the best linebacker. I almost said best player in this class. Best linebacker in this class. I feel like a lot of people expect him to go early. I just don't think it's that good of a linebacker class in general, and I don't love taking linebackers in the first round. They just don't really work out, like I said earlier. I was thinking about going with a safety like Lewis Cine or just someone like that, maybe like Jaquan Brisker, I don't know, because I think Will Harris is their starting free safety, and I don't think he's good at all, but yeah, Devin Lloyd fills a pretty big need. So this was my mock draft. Let's just go over a quick recap of it. I'll just scroll down real quick. I'm not even going to name them out. Just here are the players. If you missed it somehow, I don't know how you would have, because, you know, you probably watched the video. If you didn't, you're stupid. But yeah, that is the draft. I'm relatively happy with it. This is just such a weird draft class. It's super heavy in certain positions and super light in others. So it's kind of weird to know where to take players. If I had to make one change, I probably would have taken a quarterback and a corner earlier, like maybe Sauce Gardner to the Giants and Derek Stingley to Seattle or something like that. But other than that, I'm relatively happy with it. But if you liked the video, of course, drop a like, drop a sub. It takes you 2 seconds. And if you want to let me know what you thought of the draft class down in the comments, or the mock draft, I guess either sentence works. And remember, I think I said 20 likes for part 2, for round 2, I should say. So yeah, that is all for this video. I'm not used to doing mock drafts, so this was a little shaky, but I think it was relatively realistic. But yeah, that is all. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Goodbye.